So black and white photography really takes us back to the essence and the origins of what photography was all about. It was very quickly established by a chap called Ansel Adams that you want as many shades of rich grey in between pure white and pure black to really give black and white photography the punch that it requires. But there's a number of things that need to come into being for black and white photography to help. In the digital old days, we used to use color filters on the cameras. And for that, you would be able to essentially get different tones for different colors. So different tones of gray for the different colors that you had. With digital photography, that's largely disappeared. However, there is software now, Silver Efex Pro, which is brought to you by DxO, that has a filter that allows you to essentially mimic that color filter. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Silver Efex, how to use it, what the different sliders do, and a couple of tips on how to really bring that old school black and white feel back into your digital photography. My name's Darren Donovan. I'm a C4 host and guide, and today we're going to take you on a journey into black and white photography, all the way back to its origins. All right, so before we even get to Silver Efex Pro, what you want to do is, with the file that you've selected, is to first do all the stuff that you need to do in Lightroom, and your denoising, your sharpening, and all your adjustments in Lightroom. I've selected this particular image. It's an image of an elephant in the Okavango Delta. There was a very strong backlight in this particular image. Now, what draws it to me for black and white photography is the fact that you've got the highlighting around the face area, which brings enough attention to the eyes. You can see it's an elephant with the ears that are out there, and then you've got the splashing of water that comes up. Now in black and white, that's going to be something that really draws your attention to create a nice dramatic image with Silver Efex Pro as a black and white. Okay, so let's start with just exporting. I've got it in my menu here that I've got right at the bottom, the post-processing. I open in Silver Efex, and so it will do just that. Right, so now once in Silver Efex Pro, the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to use that color filter to give me the general look and feel of the kind of filter I would like to use. So I go down here to the color filter and I select, just by pressing on the different filters here, to kind of get an idea of what I want. So if I look here, probably the blue filter would be a little too dark on the background. It makes those green reeds quite dark. I'm going to probably go with the green filter. All right, and I'm going to set my over here to the hue. I'm going to just slide across just to really get a sort of in-betweens. So I'm probably going in between green and blue on the hue. And I'm going to take the strength just down to 50. All right, so already we can see if you compare, right? So like I said, the color filter and the hue and strength over here, this essentially controls the transition of black and white, of the colors into black and white. So it mimics that physical glass filter that you used to use in film photography. Right, so now once I've done this, I'm going to then go on to the contrast slider. So the contrast slider is over here at contrast and contrast adjustments, and I'm just going to slide it up a little bit and sort of get an idea of just how. So I want to be careful on the ears because there are quite strong shadows that are on the ears here. So I don't want to push it too hard because the contrast essentially, it's a traditional contrast control. So your darks are going to get darker, your lights are going to get lighter. There's nothing more to it really more than that. But now here's where it gets interesting. With the white slider, so you'll see under here you have the contrast and you've got amplify whites. So now with amplify whites, it's basically a smart brightness slider. It's great for really making those highlights pop. So what I want to really sort of get is these splashes of water. So I'm going to amplify the whites here and sort of really bring that water out. The algorithm works that it tries to do it without actually clipping the whites. So it just brightens everything up around those whites. So exactly the opposite for the Amplify black side. It should really make those darks a bunch richer. So we still, if I look over here, I can still see nice detail on that worry area that I had, which was the ears of the elephant. So now from here, we come to the soft contrast. Let's just give this again, with any secret sauce, you want to be quite conservative on what you're doing, otherwise it will overpower. So just for the sake of interest, I'm just going to take it right up and you'll see what I mean there, right? So I'm just, like I said, being nice and conservative with that secret sauce. So we can already see the difference that's coming into this image, right? Right, so now we're going to just go up to our dynamic brightness. So it adjusts the brightness without affecting the contrasts that we have set. So that makes it quite interesting. So it's outside, it's in the brightness adjustment, so it's outside of the contrast adjustments, but I do just want to take this up just a smidge, again, just a little bit. So we've essentially still have our contrast like we wanted it, we've just brightened it up ever so slightly. So over there, look at that difference. Okay. Okay, so now before I get to the structure part of things, which is very similar to clarity in Lightroom, I want to show you a really nice nifty little trick. It's called the Ansel Adams Zone System, right? So you go over here to your histogram, okay? And now, as you hover, you'll see darks from 0 up until 10 for the brightness. Right? So what you want to do is you want to hover over each one of these little boxes, right? And you will look on the image, and on the image you will see that there is a little red coloring almost that goes onto the image that's affected within that part of the histogram. And you want, for that really rich tone of black and white, you want from 1 all the way to 10, you want to have at least a little bit of the image that has that. And we're going to adjust that by tuning our contrast. So we're going to go to our contrast slider for a second time. So looking at this, if I hover over here, I'm not seeing anything on the image at all. If you look closely, I'm not seeing anything there. So I'm just going to go back to my contrast slider, and I'm going to slide my contrast slider up a little bit. Right, go back to this, and just there in the corners, there's a little bit there, just in the corners. Right, so now going on to, so that's 1, that's pure black, right? Now 1, you can see there's a fair amount coming in, 2, fair amount, now we go all the way, but I'm worried about getting up to 10. Now have I got anything there? Nothing yet. Right, so can take the contrast slider again. Right, so I'm just adjusting the dynamic brightness because I'm a little concerned that the darkness is going to overpower. So if I do that, I can bring brightness up a little bit more, and there we go, just a little bit in that section there. Right, so we have almost pure white there if you look there. Right, so now we've pretty much got the richest colors or the richest shades of gray that we possibly can. So we can see that with that Ansel Adams zone and using that. It's a nice nifty little trick to essentially bring out the best that you can in your black and white photography. Right, so now we're going to go down to the structure panel. All right, so here the structure slider essentially controls the micro edges, right? So it sharpens up on those micro edges and it increases the texture and sharpness of your image. So again, secret sauce, you need to be a little bit careful with this, right? So I'm just going to give it a little slide to the right. There we go, not too much. Right, so the highlights is going to affect the micro edges again and the textures within the brightest parts of your image. So one of the big things that drew me to this for black and white was that water, that splattering of water that we wanted, right? So I am going to just adjust the structure on that. It's just going to bring that up and make that pop really nicely, right? Now, midtones. Now this with your structure is going to be very, very powerful, because the reality is that the majority of your pixels are within the midtone section of your images. And so by having a big adjustment, you're going to make huge adjustments because of the amount of pixels that are being affected. So again, just be very conservative. So I'm just taking this a little bit there. There we go. Nice and conservative. Okay. The shadows and blacks, as we've seen a common theme here, this is going to affect the dark parts and just affect those dark parts. Now, here's a nice little interesting way of looking at things and editing going forward. If you had to go into the negative, right, it can give you a very misty, dreamy effect. So, for instance, if you had a clear-cut, bright background with a fairly dark subject in front, it's sort of a high key, but there were maybe branches or something like that that you wanted to get rid of, right? Don't get rid of it. Just drag those structure sliders for the highlights into the negative, and it'll essentially create like a sort of misty, nice cool effect behind your subject. So it's just one of those nice little tips that you can use to sort of create that really sort of dreamy effect. Okay, so the last one that I'm going to affect here is the fine structure slider. So the fine structure slider is it's going to affect the finer details like hairs and little blades of grass, things like that. So in this particular image, I don't want to affect too much change because it's an elephant, so it doesn't have a huge amount of hair. We're not seeing a lot of that. We've already made a fair amount of structural impact on the water droplets by going on the highlights, the structure highlights slider. So I'm going to be, again, just very conservative, and I don't really want to affect too much as far as the grass goes, because the grass in the foreground over here, all right, and the grass and stuff at the background there, I'd much rather keep kind of blurred, right? So I'm actually going to do a slight negative take on this, right? So just take that down a little bit on the negative, just to really keep those blurred out, and still, because of the highlight structure over here, we've kept the detail within these water droplets that are being kicked up from the elephant coming at us. So in a nutshell, that would be the way that I go about using Silver Efex, the basic sliders. There is still more, which we can get to in a later video, using the control panel and things like that to affect particular areas of your image. But if we look at this, there's the after, that was the before. And we've essentially got a nice, rich black and white that has come out of that. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe our channel. There's plenty more really educational stuff on travel, wildlife, as well as photography. But yep, like I said, my name's Darren Donovan, and until next time, have a good one.